What's happening, Lighthouse crew? If you know me, know of me, or don't know me, my name is Imani Simon, and this is Simon Says, the Lighthouse Podcast. So, um, it's the first podcast, but like I said, I gotta start somewhere. So sit back, grab you some wine, maybe some popcorn or some trail mix. I don't know my audience yet, but sit back, relax, and enjoy. But please know that I am over 21. Okay. All right, folks. So today's podcast is titled, What Does It Mean to Be a Light Bearer in a Dark World? So I want y'all to get in the comments and kind of say your own thoughts on that. Like, what does it mean to be a light in a dark world? Like, whether you are, religious or not, it still stands. So, what does that mean to you, or how have you been taught to think about that term? So, for me, um, I see it as quite literally being a light, being bright, not dimming yourself no matter what the room tells you you should be, or tells you what should be. Um, being a light in a dark room doesn't mean that you're better than everyone in the room. It don't mean that. It just simply means that you are put in there to illuminate the room. You're illuminating the room, you're illuminating the path. And you should be, if you're a light, you should be lighting up everything. That means you should be triggering other people's light. Like, you should see lights flickering on when you walk in a room. Like, people shouldn't be dimming themselves because of your light. Or else I don't know if that's really light. True light is not only gonna illuminate, but it's gonna like spark light in everything else. Like, when you turn on a light in here, like, you see everything. You know what I'm saying? And that's how it should be. You should be shedding truth, shedding wisdom, and once again, shedding light in the rooms that you in. So that's what it means to be a light in a dark room to me. And so, excuse me, I'm actually gonna kind of shift gears a little bit and talk about purpose, right? And so me and my sister, we was on the phone earlier this morning, and we were talking about purpose, and not even in a form of where we're like, yeah, this is what I feel like my purpose is. Da, 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 da. It was just as simple as, man, and I was doing this presentation, and I just felt love when I was doing this. I felt love from my community when I was thinking about doing this, or when I talked to this person, we had a conversation and it sparked this, and little do we know that that is purpose. When God is putting you in positions to where you're meeting other people and doing certain things that just spark your light, that's purpose. And God gave me three things that make purpose. And so the first one is who you are, what you see for your life, and who you're trying to serve. So breaking those three down, obviously starting with who you are, that is a journey in itself that quite literally never ends. Like, you should never be done fully learning yourself, because you should always be growing. You know what I'm saying? Like, you should never be stagnant. And if you're never stagnant, then that means you always are becoming. You always are I am. And so because of that, you got to continuously be on this journey of continue to know who you are, continue to find out who you are. Um, like, for instance, in this past season of my life, I stopped doing a lot of things that I used to do. Like, a lot of those things just wasn't fun to me anymore. And so because of that, I had to say, okay, you're becoming someone different. What does that look like for you now? Like, what does peace look like for you now? What does having a fun time look like for you now? You know what I'm saying? Like, and always asking yourself those questions after enduring each of the seasons of your life. So when you find out who you are at your core, gotta start revealing, purpose. Because you'll start to know what makes you feel good, what makes you feel happy, what makes you feel creative, what makes you, and what gives you life. Like, what is your motivation? You know what I'm saying? When you digging deep within and you can find those things, you finding out who you are, right? Two, how do you see your life, or what do you see out of your life? What do you want out of your life? And so I feel like manifestation is a big thing right now, and I don't know if everybody is necessarily using it in the right way or for the right reasons. But what I will say is you got to envision the life that you want. You really do. And you can call it whatever you want. You can call it faith. You can call it manifestation. You can call it dreaming, whatever you want to call it. In order for you to live the life that you see, you have to first see it. You know what I'm saying? Like everything that's in this house, everything that's outside of this, like somebody's seen in their head. You know what I'm saying? Like somebody's seen this bookshelf before it became the bookshelf that we know today. And so the life that you live in, it's a reality, but you have to see yourself in it first. So first examining, what do you want out of this life? Like, what do you see your life looking like? You know what I'm saying? Like that's the first step. It's bigger than, oh yeah, I want a family and I want a nice house. Okay, do you know what area you want to live in? Like what do you want out of a partner? Like how do you want to feel in that relationship? You know what I'm saying? What type of parent do you want to be? Like we say all of these very surface level stuff and then don't have no vision behind it. It's just like, yeah, cookie cutter, this is what I know I'm supposed to do in life. I'm supposed to get a good job. I'm supposed to have a family. I'm supposed like, but what do you see for yourself? You know what I'm saying? So that's the second. And the third one is, who are you trying to serve? And for me, I feel like this is the biggest part about it. Is because we are here to serve. God put us on this earth to serve not only him but each other and ourselves, you know. So what does service look like to you? Like if you're, for instance, if you do makeup, right? The community that you're serving is women. It's not just women, but of course, you know, women, men, you know, non-binary, whatever. But you're serving that person to make them feel beautiful, make them feel creative in whatever way, and you're also being able to give them what they see in their head of creative expression via makeup. And so it's the same thing. Like you got to see what community that you're serving. Like if you're an attorney, you can't just be like, yeah, I'm an attorney. Like what are you doing? Like are you an attorney that's helping immigrants and immigration law? Are you an attorney that's helping criminals and helping criminals get off of cases, or helping them debunk different things that they didn't do? You know, so all of these different things, like you got to figure out what community you serving. Like what community are you serving? How do you want to service them? And what do you feel is the way or the avenue of service for that community? So that even requires research. Like through my sorority, I've had the pleasure of learning, and the privilege at that, the privilege of learning what a local community means, right? Because in a lot of our initiatives, if not all of our initiatives, we're talking about serving our local community, and then on a broader scale, serving our region, and then serving internationally, right? And so when you're talking about serving a community, you have to first know the needs of the community that you're serving. You can't just say, yeah, we're gonna go out here and we're gonna feed the homeless, which is good. You should go out and feed the homeless. But if the community is screaming for a cleanup, like, hey, we need to get out in the streets and clean up, that may take precedent over, you know, feeding the homeless at that time. Where if the community, or for instance, like your college campus need people to comfort them. You know what I'm saying? Maybe they lost a student. And I'm not saying that willy-nilly, because at the university that I went to my freshman and sophomore year, we lost a student to suicide. And we went to a small school. So that day, that week, um, was very sad. And everybody knew, you know, who he was, or knew of him, or took classes with him and all this other stuff. And so in that moment, we didn't need somebody in there talking about motivational speeches. We didn't need a motivational speech at that time. We needed love. We needed comfort. We needed somebody to come in and say, hey, I know that what you saw was rough, but how can we not only honor this life, but prevent suicide taking other people's lives? So it's like reading the community, understanding the community, and doing research and knowing the needs of the community that you're going into serving or wanting to serve. And so those three things, like I said, God kind of gave that to me and was like, purpose. These are the things, this is the recipe that makes up purpose. And so kind of just to briefly get into my story a little bit, and as we kind of go along this journey together, um it'll be a lot of changes. It'll be a lot of changes, but what I do think is solid is purpose, because jobs and careers and how you go about said purpose can be different, but who you are and what you see for yourself at core, I don't think changes. Like I've had the privilege of, through my sorority once again, to know people that are judges, that are attorneys, that are morticians, that are excuse me, child, just know I know a lot of people that do a whole lot of other things, and even college students that are entrepreneurs and doing all type of different stuff. So through I say all of that to say, one thing that hasn't changed is what they felt. If they knew what purpose was for them in particular, it didn't change over the years. The avenue or the vehicle of which they used to fulfill that purpose is different, but what they wanted at their core was the same. For instance, it was a young lady that I met, um, and she was like, I just knew that I wanted to help people. And of course people be like, oh yeah, well that's broad, you can help people every day. Exactly, you can help people every day. And so no, so she went and she was a social worker. She ran a nonprofit organization. She volunteered on college campuses. She did a lot of speaking engagements. I think she even worked in the medical field for a little bit, and all these other different avenues of helping people. So I say all that to say, once you find and understand those three core values, who you are, what you see for your life, and who you're serving, everything else will lay itself out. Everything else will lay itself out. I feel like that's been my biggest overcoming. That's what I'll say. Now I wouldn't even say it's a challenge. I would say like my biggest overcoming has been understanding that just because I do have a knowledge of the three steps is not rushing God's process. You know what I mean? Because it can be hard. You can be like, well, I know what I want out of this life, and I know what I want to do. I can see it in my head, and da 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 da. But you gotta be on God's timing, because ultimately, it really is the best timing. It really is the best timing. Um, and I can give y'all an example. I'll give y'all one today. Um, but I was supposed to graduate in 2024, college. And because I graduated high school 2020, 4 years, four and done, you know what I'm saying? The average of what you're supposed to do in college. And I didn't graduate until fall of 2025. And so, excuse me, I was heartbroken, I was sad, I was all these other things. And when I got to graduation in December, I was like, oh my gosh, I'm so glad that I didn't graduate last year. Just simply because of the opportunities. I got to graduate with my friends. Like a lot of the reason that I wanted to graduate in 2024 was because everybody I knew was graduating in 2024. My best friend graduated in 2024. One of my close homegirls graduated in 2024. So I'm like, man, I'm gonna be here alone. And I wasn't. I wasn't alone. I found my little crew. Shout out to the Sexy Psychologist Club. I love y'all. But I found my crew. I was able to graduate with some of the ladies out of the crew. Um, and it was just an amazing experience. The opportunities, the networks that I met in that semester, in fall semester alone, um, has been life changing. So I'm definitely grateful, and I was grateful for the classes that I was able to take, because I didn't need some of the classes I took, but because I just needed to be a full time student, I was able to add on some more Africana studies classes and stuff like that. So it was really really dope. It was it was better than I expected. And I find that a lot with God. Like, you know what I'm saying? He just give you what you don't even think you need, like what you even know that you want, like, but he already know. Um, but I say that to go back to, you know, pillar number one, which was knowing who you are. And so I remember talking to God because I was like, God, show me not only who I am, but show me you. And God's so bad, y'all. He just showed me and was like, hey, guess what? You're made in my image. And when I recognize, like, and I know, like, that probably hit somebody where it hit you, and when it hit you, bless you. But when I realized I am truly the creation of God, truly made in his image, truly was made, truly, like, truly was made in his image, it just changed how I view myself. Like, it just changed how I viewed the world. Like, I see beauty in everything. I see beauty in life. Like, and we'll get to it in podcast down, but I done had 2 surgeries. I done been in 3 different car accidents, and I'm here and I'm walking and I'm doing a podcast. Like, you know what I mean? And it's only by the grace of God. You know what I'm saying? Truly, that I'm able to do these things, but because I can walk, I'm just grateful. You know what I'm saying? Like, of course, I'm grateful for my spot. I'm grateful for, you know what I'm saying, the ground that keeps me covered and gravity that pulls me every day and the sun that keeps on shining regardless. But inside, I'm grateful for me. You know what I'm saying? I'm grateful for the resilience. I'm grateful for finding me so then I can then find purpose. And so I'm keeping this one short and sweet. I mean, it's only been like 17 minutes, so my wine glass still full. I don't know if y'all still full, but love y'all anyway. Lighthouse crew, we out. Keep being lights, keep being light barriers, and I'll see you on the next episode. We out.